Gervonta.
Oh, he's a problem. He's going to be a problem
for everybody.
He's going to be a problem, bro.
Speed is bananas.
Yeah.
You ever seen him shadow box, like throw combinations?
Oh, yeah,
in?
bro.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Is this sped up?
He's got a good boxing IQ, fundamentally solid. He's better served to box on the outside with the always dangerous Tank Davis.
But he's really come into his own because the guy who was in the gym that everybody saw coming up has been realized.
He's a machine. Joe Rogan couldn't hide his excitement. Watching Gervonta Tank Davis train was like witnessing a weapon being sharpened to perfection. Rogan marveled at Tank's terrifying speed, crisp combinations, and laser-focused footwork. This isn't the same fighter from last time. This is a new Tank, refined, explosive, and absolutely deadly. Rogan's reaction says it all. With this kind of preparation, Tank isn't just back. He's ready to wreck anyone in his...
For Gervonta, that was perfect, because I would love to see Ryan Garcia, the one that we saw fully hydrated against Devin Haney, against Gervonta.
Oh, he's a problem. He's going to be a problem
for everybody.
He's going to be a problem, bro.
Speed is bananas.
Yeah.
You ever seen him shadow box, like throw
Oh,
combinations?
yeah,
in?
bro.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Is this sped up?
Oh,
How
yeah.
are you so fast?
Yeah. It's not fair.
He might have one of the fastest left hooks I've ever seen.
For sure.
I mean, it's right up there with everybody, all the great left hookers of the past.
But the crazy thing is, like, bro, he don't even bring it out. He just goes from right here.
Right there.
Ha!
Whip.
Teddy Atlas didn't hold back. He called Gervonta Davis a fighter in a league of his own. Athletic, sharp, and brilliant inside the ring, Atlas says it's Tank's brain that makes the real difference. His timing, his angles, the way he sees openings before they happen. That's next-level IQ. In Atlas's eyes, Tank might not just be one of the best. He might be pound for pound #1 in the world.
Right now.
The way that he boxes, he's versatile. You know, he could do a lot of things. He could go get you. He's got the attitude of a fighter. He's not a huge puncher. Obviously, Tank Davis is the puncher in this, but Roach can go get you, but he can box. I think he's better served. He's got long arms, good length. He's better served. He's got a good boxing IQ, fundamentally solid. He's better served to box on the outside with the always dangerous Tank Davis. Box, see if he can get it done. Angles, pot shot, be disciplined enough to do that all night long. I think he should stay away from trying to go on the inside, which again, he's got the attitude of a real fighter, which you love. And I wouldn't be shocked if Roach said, oh, no, I'm going to go inside sometimes. I don't know that would be the best choice. He knows how to do it if he wants to. At the end of the day, all of what I said, Bud, it's one thing that really makes the day. It's not because Tank Davis is just undefeated. It's not because Tank Davis is just a great puncher. He's just a full package. He's really, really the full. I don't make him pound for pound up there. He's up there in the top 5 pound for pound. I don't put him there because he's a puncher. I put him there because he is a complete darn fighter. He can go get you. He can fight in the trenches. He can go to the body, the head. He can use his legs when he has to. He can set traps. He can counterpunch.
The boxing world isn't just excited. For the rematch, they're glad it's happening without delay.
The rematch is coming fast, and that's exactly how fans wanted it. After the controversial draw, debates exploded across social media. Everyone had an opinion. But now there's no waiting, no dodging. Davis didn't stall. He didn't run. He's stepping right back in the ring to settle this the only way that matters, with his fists.
I have a lot of criticism for Gervonta Davis and Canelo Alvarez for the choice of opponents. But at least Gervonta Davis is doing the Mayweather. He's giving the immediate rematch.
Right.
You had a tough fight, you're doing the immediate rematch. I like it.
All right, so what I'm
I need
curious
to
about,
push back real quick.
Yeah, I knew you would. Go ahead.
Push back. I'm giving the guy credit.
I like Gervonta Davis. I know you talk a lot about his opponents or whatever, and you're talking about the Lamont Roach.
We're not going to go pick a quote.
But okay,
Find me a less than a 10-1 underdog and he fought on pay-per-view.
Look, I'm talking about this fight right here. Look at the first fight. So, picking Lamont Roach, you're saying, oh, he's basically cherry picking is what you're alluding to. He has a history with the guy. They've been in the gym together. They sparred together. They fought in the amateurs. He knew the level that Lamont brought. Also, Lamont's one of those guys. You ask anybody in the boxing world, they know how good Lamont is, and it's his record. You know, leading up to him getting to the title shot. or getting his title win, it's kind of like, the Jamel Herring fight's really hard to forget. He struggled with some guys that you wouldn't expect him to, but he's really come into his own because the guy who was in the gym that everybody saw coming up has been realized now. So I don't think Gervonta Davis was handpicking an easy guy in Lamont Roach. Stylistically, listen, Gervonta's team's not dumb. They look at what this guy can do and where he can give him troubles, and it certainly worked out that way. Did they overlook him a little bit in terms of being like, I beat him back then. He struggled here and there. I'm just too good. I'm on a different level. I think that Lamont really stepped up. So I'm going. So, Gervonta's that good, but guess what? So's Lamont.
So I was exaggerating. That's what you're saying. I'm exaggerating.
You tend to be hyperbolic at times. Yes.
How dare
Joe Rogan loves chaos in the cage. But in boxing, he respects patience and precision. That's what he sees in Davis. Tank doesn't just throw wild shots. He calculates, waits, then strikes with surgical precision. Rogan says, if Davis reads Roach early in the rematch, it might be over in one brutal moment.
My fucking wake up from my nap alarm.
You got naps incorporated into your day?
Not always, but just in case, you know.
Every now and then.
Yeah, every
sleep.
now and then, a little sleep. Not too much though.
How many have you changed as you've gotten older? Have you changed your workout routine? Have you done anything? Yeah.
Yes, no. So I one thing I like to do is obviously shock my body, but I also like to like get like long training sessions in. You know, I remember Bernard Hopkins would talk about it a lot, like where he would just do the basics for a very, very long time and just doing it. And it's very boring and monotonous just for me to like just throw one jab constantly, things like that. But I feel that it just like re-sparks maybe things that I should be sharpening up. And it becomes cardio at some point, you know, as I'm doing it for so long, it becomes cardio and it becomes specific cardio to what I'm doing. So a lot of my sessions, I'll have like a 2 to 3 hour session first thing in the morning when like nice and strong and I have the full gas tank. Then I'll take my little break and then I'll have like another session at night. But it's not always like that. Sometimes when I don't have a fight, I'll do 3 sessions a day, but they won't be like crazy. It'll be maybe a strength and conditioning that lasted about 45 minutes to an hour and 15. And I took a big break. Then I came back in the midday, had like a good technique session where I'm just focused on positions that I'm not efficient in, just doing them over and over and over. And I used to do a lot more live.
In the first fight, something just didn't seem right with Gervonta Davis.
Training camp has started, and it's no nonsense. Every sparring session is intense. Every round is war. After that controversial draw, Davis isn't just preparing, he's on a mission. Vegas is the stage, the world is watching, and Tank's message is clear. I'm not here to win, I'm here to dominate.
The got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He a little distracted in the fight.
That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he's like, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids and I had the same thing. I went through the same when I fought Andre. That was burning my eyes, so I cut that off.
This isn't just about revenge, it's about legacy. Tank knows the whispers. Has he lost a step? Is he slipping? That noise? He's heard it all, and it's lit a fire in him. Now he's pushing his body, his mind, his technique to prove once and for all, he's still the king.
Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch has been set. We expected it to happen. I think after the first fight, Tank was kind of like, if he wants to fight him or not, but we all kind of knew what else is there for. Well, there's stuff for them both to go off and do, but it was Tank's first time actually going to a draw, so he knew they were going to want to run it back. They're probably going to make way more money from this rematch too. How do I think it goes? Man, listen, Tank, when he's fighting in the pro fight, he's a counter puncher. Through and through, he's a counter puncher. Low volume, counter puncher. Lamont Roach was able to use his feet, know to go in and out the pocket, know how to block the shots, and also he rolled a lot of the shots very, very well as well. So Tank wasn't really able to get the shots off that he does. With Tank to a degree, it's almost like, if I don't knock you out, I'm pissed. Kind of like Wilder-esque. Wilder, one of the Louis Ortiz fight, the second fight, Wilder barely threw a punch that whole fight until he knocked him out in the 7th or 8th round. It's kind of like with Tank as well. And it's a shame because I think Tank is better than that. I think he's like that. If you go back and watch one of his old clips when he used to spar in the Mayweather gym, he wasn't counter punching so much. He was coming forward a bit more. Maybe because they got head guards on and bigger gloves. Maybe he felt more comfortable doing it. But he wasn't so much of a, he wasn't primarily counter punching. And those clips we saw, it wasn't clips of a whole fight, but those clips that we did see. I know he has it in him to be more than just a counter puncher, but it seems like when it comes to the pro rank, it's just what he's resigned himself to want to do. It'd be interesting. I thought the first time Tank beat him, because what Roach showed me before that didn't really show you a guy who would win. Into the second fight, if Tank goes in again with the same kind of tactics, he could very well lose some points. Roach was able to keep his legs for all 12 rounds and kind of fight at the same pace. Tank's power didn't really phase Roach. Now, I'm not saying it won't in the second fight, but it did it in the first fight. So it'll be interesting to see how the fight goes. It'll be fun to watch. I'll be definitely tuning in. How do you think it goes? Do you think Tank can get the win this time or not? I would be more inclined to think maybe Tank can actually do it this time, and he will probably let his hands go a bit more. But look, Roach was doing great counter punches himself. But when Tank didn't let his hands go, Tank was missing and paying for it at the end of the day. I don't know. It's going to be a good fight. I'm actually quite looking forward to it. Maybe after this is all done, then one of these guys can move on and Tank can finally go and fight the Shakurs of the world, because Haney's he's moved up now. So we'll see. How do you think this fight goes? It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
David.
Enter Kenny Ellis, a no-nonsense veteran who doesn't care about hype. He's here to build a better Tank, and it's working. Davis's footwork is cleaner, combos tighter, defense sharper. Ellis isn't fixing Tank, he's leveling him up. And with that guidance, Davis is preparing to rewrite the story that started with a draw and end it with a statement. There was a time when Gervonta Davis walked into a ring and everyone knew. It wasn't if he'd win, but when. That aura took a hit. Roach stood his ground. People started asking tough questions. Now Tank's mission is clear. Bring back the fear. Make them remember who he is and why no one wanted to share the ring with him in the first place.
It's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident, because you gonna go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos, he go in there confident, thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he get you on that button, them lights going off. I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that's gonna fold. You're going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's gonna get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. I feel like you was in your head too much. You was overconfident, and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like, I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont. This from the same camp. We from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up, because you got to think, Tank not used to losing. He not used to people being against him. He not used to being the one that like got to step back from the situation. That's why I think he's being hushed right now, because when he come this time, it ain't no talking. And that's why I think it's scary, because we never see Tank in that mode where he don't say a word. I think this gonna be a different Tank. And what's crazy is Tank used to be like that in the beginning, like when he was with Floyd. Like, I'm talking about Tank with the fade, with the waves, bro. He ain't used to be on that showboat and stuff until he got, like, a little bit more in the boxing, thing. Of course, once you with Floyd, you gonna start being flashy and doing backflips off the ring. But in his beginning stages, dude wasn't playing. He was dropping I think that's what he about to go to, bro. And we know that people like, man, did he take Calvin off his team? Nah, like he said, Calvin his boy. I think he's just rocking with somebody else right now to get him some sharper skills, you know, to just change up his skill and what people know him by. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I think Tank go take it to Lamont. And that's not me being biased. I think we ain't never seen Tank like this before. And Lamont, I see your mindset. You keep nagging about that win you should have got. Focus on the new fight. Stop talking about I should have won. You know why? You know why he's feeling like that? Because that's like one in a lifetime. He feel like nobody got that close. I should have took the belt right there. Now I ain't gonna never get that shot again because he know that boy Tank done buckled up, done cleaned up his mess, and he ready to go. And it's not the same. It's not the same Tank. You mean Tank? You done gave Tank enough time to think about who you are as a boxer and break you down. Yeah, he's cooked. Remember I told y'all what's gonna happen in August. He's cooked. And I feel like Tank, he walking him down. Like, yeah, watch this. I'm about to make an example because Tank gonna want to be able to tell everybody to
To help lead the
Let's call it like it is. Tank wasn't fully in it last time. The talk of retirement, the distractions, the shaky camp. It showed. But that's over. No more friendship talk. No more eye grease excuses. This time, Tank Davis is focused. Dead. Serious. Fully locked in. The rematch? It's not just a fight. It's a reckoning.
We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. So Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw. Whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was going to look at that and be like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said it. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, it had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she did what she did?